Should I use a squatty potty? Hi there, this is Justine Calderwood, pelvic floor physical therapist and birth recovery specialist. Coming at you today in the bathroom for our Ed Talks. Our Ed Talks are little snippets of education to help you heal and feel empowered. So we're here in the bathroom here at work, and I want to answer this question because it's an important one, and it's a really easy one actually to answer because the answer is yes. Who should use a squatty potty? Pretty much anybody. And I'm going to explain why. Let's first start with who should use a squatty potty. Pretty much anybody, if you ask me. Maybe not really little kids that are already pretty close to the floor. A lot of times they use their own separate potty chair, and I'm not going to worry about that a whole lot. Now, I see a lot of women for pelvic floor issues, and some of the things that I do help women with are related to their pee and their poop function. So a squatty potty can actually help with both things. But what I'm going to talk to you today is probably going to focus more on improving bowel health. But let's talk first about the pelvis. So I have my pelvic model here, and I just want to give you a little information about what the pelvic floor muscles actually do. So just to orient you here, this is a female pelvis. If you were to put your hands on the top of your hip, so to speak, it would land on the top of your pelvis right in through here. So you can see here the bony structure is it goes around, and we have the pubic bone in the front. And as I turn this around, you can see the tailbone in the back, and you can see the organs that are in here. So again, this is a female pelvis. So we have the bladder, the uterus, and the rectum back in there. So those are the organs that sit within this bony structure. Now, if I flip this over, you're going to see the pelvic floor muscles. So this would be like if you were lying on your back face up. We have the pubic bone here now, and underneath we have the tailbone. And you can see here we have the vaginal opening and we have the rectal opening. You can see the muscles as they fan out from the labia here over to the sits bones. So just again, orient you if this was upright. You can imagine that those sits bones would be right there, where if you're sitting right now watching this video, they're underneath you. So these muscles fan out to the sits bones. They continue on up here to the pubic bone. They crisscross here at the perineum, and they wrap around the anus. And then here, you can't see it real well, but the urethra is there. So if you think about the urethra, the vaginal canal, and the rectum all being exits or entrances into the body. So when pelvic floor muscles, when they're working correctly and doing their jobs at the right time, what will happen when we go to the bathroom, these muscles should actually relax and allow any fluid, feces, anything to actually flow out easily. Now, sometimes we want to contract those muscles and keep those fluids or bowel movement. We want to keep those things in because it may not be time to go to the bathroom, right? But when it is time to go to the bathroom, we want these muscles to actually be able to relax, because when they contract, they cause like a sphincter closing. They're going to close down the anus, or they're going to close down here at the urethra, going to close down and stop the flow of either urine or stool. So again, when they're contracted, they're going to keep things in. When they're relaxed, they're going to allow things to pass out. Okay, so in relation to the squatty potty, how does that work? Like, how is it going to help you when it comes to being in the bathroom when you need to pee or poop? Let's get into that. Okay, so we're going to get into the squatty potty. I'm going to show you, this is what a squatty potty looks like. You could definitely use a stool, but basically it's just something to rest your feet onto when you're going to the bathroom. So I'm just going to put this here in front of my toilet. Hopefully you can see this. I can't get you back far enough, but you got to see that. Then what you can do is put your feet up onto it. What that does, you can kind of see me from the side here, it lifts up my knees above where my bottom is. So what that's going to do is actually help to relax those pelvic floor muscles so that I can go to the bathroom and allow urine or stool to pass out. So that's really the function of a squatty potty. Again, you could use just a regular old step stool and lift up your feet a little bit. Ideally, you want to be able to bring your legs out into a V, so we're relaxing down into these inner thigh muscles. And I'm going to give you some more tips to help you be more successful, especially when it comes to, say, passive bowel movements. A lot of us don't have issues with urination. However, if you have issues with trying to initiate your urine stream, allow yourself to relax enough where you can actually urinate, reach out and let's see if we can help you with that as well. But this video, I'm going to focus primarily on tips to help you have smoother bowel movements. Okay, so here we are again. I'm going to put my feet up here. Again, you might not see the Squatty Potty, but you know it's down there, but now I think you can see the top of my head. So from here, some tips that can help you be a little more successful with passing bowel movements. One is you can try either, some people are more successful if they rest back and allow the pelvic floor to relax a little bit there. Some people prefer actually maybe to rest their elbows up onto their knees and lean forward. So play with that. You might even find maybe rocking side to side might help you to get things moving a little bit. With that said, even walking around, getting your legs moving and just getting a little activity before it is time to have a bowel movement may stimulate some things to get moving as well if you struggle with constipation or having a hard time emptying your bowels, that kind of thing. Another thing to try is just nice, slow, deep breaths. So we don't want to just sit down on the toilet and then get to work and try to strain and push things out. So actually, just take a moment to settle in and start taking just some nice, deep, slow breaths. So I recommend inhaling through your nose and imagine that breath coming all the way down into that pelvic region, and then exhale out through your mouth. And that exhale, that breath is going to come back out. So inhaling all the way down into your belly, into your pelvic floor, and exhaling out. Just taking a moment to actually physically relax those muscles. For some people, it helps to have an idea of whether their muscles are contracted or whether they're relaxed. And that is something that I would recommend, maybe not trying necessarily on the toilet, but maybe just sitting in a chair. See if you can contract the muscles and relax the muscles, okay? Okay, another tip is just try to avoid straining. Try not to just push things out, bearing down. Really trying to relax the muscles, because remember when we went over the pelvic model, when the muscles are relaxed, those sphincters actually open up. The anus, the urethra actually open up, okay, and allows that passage of stool. Another tip is try to keep your sessions to 5 to 10 minutes at the most. So if you have not been successful, haven't had your bowels move within 10 minutes, I really recommend get up off the toilet, go walk around, and maybe drink some hot water and try to relax a little bit and come back to it. So we don't want to sit on the stool for lengthy periods of time. Okay, those are some really good tips that I have for you today, so give them a try. And if you really are struggling with constipation, with not being able to empty your bowels completely, that means basically if you feel like you get a little bit out and then you come back and you get a little bit more, but you never really feel like you got everything out at once, that could be a sign of pelvic floor dysfunction. If you're having really hard stools, and then some days you're having really loose stools or a lot of discharge down there, but you're really not being very productive or consistent with your bowel movements, please reach out. I would love to help you, love to find out a little bit more information from you and see what I can offer in terms of help. To do that, what you can do is head to our website and fill out either an inquiry form that just lets us know a little bit of information about you, or you can request a free discovery session. I'm happy to sit down with you either one-on-one in person, or I do offer those as a virtual consult. So no matter where you live, we can talk and you can get some answers right away. Thank you for watching. If you have any additional questions or comments, please let me know. I'll see you in the next Ed Talk.